the Artist Interrogations podcast.
There we go.
Hey, Mirza, how are you doing?
I'm good. Thank you for rescheduling. We had a bit of a what's it called? Timeline problem. Like, what time is it in Denmark when it's 10 o'clock at your space?
I was going to say, yeah, it's 10 a.m. here. What time is it over there right now? Is it 6 p.m.?
It's 6, and somebody thought it would be 7, so they wrote 7, so that's why I was late for an hour.
That's okay. There was one time I interviewed Bert Kreischer, the comedian, and he thought we were in Pacific time. He didn't show up for like a long while, and I'm sitting there waiting, and we're like live on the air, and I'm like, dude, where is this guy at? And he finally shows up with no shirt on, and of course, you know, he's typical Bert, but but I'm glad.
I saw that joke on Netflix. He has that one joke, right?
Yeah,
with his shirt off.
Oh yeah, of course. That's if it pays the bills, man, I'll do it too. You know, that's
it probably does for him, right? He's
yeah,
pretty popular, right, in the States.
Maybe that's what Siamese has to do from here on out, you know? Just kind of do that running joke with them, you know? Just walk out, you know, just rip it off, throw it in the crowd.
Oh, I wish I had that confidence in me.
Me too, man. Me too. I actually wanted to bring up this whole weight loss journey that I've been on because my goal is to lose over 100 pounds, and I have been listening to Siamese nonstop for the past however many months, years doing this. So I wanted to thank you personally for This Is Not a Song and The Shape of Water and Vertigo. Those songs have been on repeat, and so that's why I'm very excited to do this interview here with you because I've been listening nonstop. I was even listening to you guys last night, just jamming
Amazing, man.
trying to run up the hill.
So
and
how's
everything.
it going with the 100 pounds? How far are you?
I am 48 pounds down, and I started back in May. Yeah.
And how much is that in kilos? 48 pounds.
Oh, let me convert that real quick. Let me see here.
It's like 20 kilos, right? It's like something like that.
Yeah, I never understood kilograms at all. Yeah, 21. Yeah.
21. Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing. Congrats.
Oh, thank you. And for This Is Not a Song, I mean, the first time I heard that, I was like, this is the funniest yet best thing ever, dude. Like, how did you guys come up with that? Because I would love to know how you got what made you guys choose the female voice, everything.
With This Is Not a Song, it was basically, we had a bunch of riffs. We had a lot of riffs that all sounded great, but we just couldn't put them in a song, or we just couldn't find the vibe. And I remember vividly that I was just about to fall asleep, and I was just like, what if I just mesh all these riffs together and then just make people want to mosh to it? And then the day after, the voice kind of came in, like, oh, we could do the TikTok voice and try to make that work. So yeah, and then we just went to the studio, and it just so happens to be that these 4 riffs together worked well. So they were supposed to be on 4 different songs, and we just meshed them in. And we were not supposed to put that on the record. It was supposed to be a live thing, but everybody was really reacting to it so good that we thought, well, you know, just put it on the record then and see what happens. And turns out we had quite a lot of success with it. I mean, we even got on radio with that song, which is crazy. Because there's no chorus, there's no nothing.
I know I had to make my own radio edit because I think the first time I heard it, I might have gotten a little too aggressive on the treadmill and tried almost pushing the people next to me. Just start pushing those around you, that kind of thing. But I added the funny censors and everything for that song just to make sure to play it as my, well, it's still in, of course. I'll probably play it today too during the afternoon show just because it's such a fun track and listeners, I'm sure, love it. And it's definitely a unique difference compared to everything else. And also we like to keep it weird around here too. So
sounds good, man. Sounds good. Thank you so much for your support.
Yeah, of course. I followed you on Instagram recently, and I wanted to congratulate you on your second kid, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, and that's why also things have been a little bit hectic. I'm struggling really to keep a calendar right now because everything is just up in the air. But it's a blessing and it's fun. I have a boy and now I have a girl, so it's a full plate, as we say in Denmark. Yeah, it's fun. Not a lot of sleep right now, but the timing is perfect. Not a lot is going on right now. The record is out. The next tour will not be until like November, so good period.
Oh, for sure. For sure. Have you noticed a big difference already with the boy and the girl difference? Like which one's easier than the other?
Not yet, but I can tell you this: having a 3-year-old boy who is just who unfortunately is very jealous. That is something I wasn't prepared for. It's just a constant, he's just mad all the time. Who is this new person in our tribe? It's a crazy thing to witness, and it just tells you so much about our like basic biology, like how we are just coded with 2,000 years of biology, that this is like something that's happening to him. He feels threatened. It's so obvious, and he's trying to cope with it in so many weird ways. And it's a situation for sure, but he's got to cope with it. He can't. What are you gonna do? You gotta. So
Right.
so here you are.
Yeah, I feel like time flies. Of course, time flies too. I feel like it's going to go by in the blink of an eye. Next thing you know, he's taller than you and everything. He's going to be trying to
Yeah.
pursue music, maybe. I mean, who knows? You know what's going to happen.
Fingers crossed. I hope so. I mean, that's one of the big privileges. Like, I was at a festival this weekend doing some work, and I just saw these really young kids playing, and I saw their parents, and I'm like, man, this gonna be me in like 10, 15 years. That's crazy.
I know we just saw Papa Roach in Pocatello, and of course his son, Jacoby's son, is like 22, 23, and it's so crazy that like back in the day he was that age, back in 2000, putting out Last Resort, and now it's really cool. It runs in the family like that for a lot of these musicians out here. But
For sure.
I'm very happy for you, man. You guys just released Dissolution, like you just mentioned, not that long ago. You said writing this album forced you to revisit some really painful memories about your father, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly.
Was there ever a point where you thought maybe this is almost like too personal to release? Like you're like, do I really want to put this out there?
I only thought about it like recently. Once I had to do the interviews, once I had to talk about it, it actually became kind of not weird, but a little bit painful. Because this is my perspective, and we're a whole family. So somebody else in my family might not share the same perspective that I did, but they did not have the same situation as me. So those things have been a bit weird having to kind of deal with. But when I wrote these things, it's never hard for me. It's a big relief to do what I do, and to have the channel to do it, and actually people are listening to it as well. Hopefully some of them can relate. Because one of my biggest problems when I was growing up as a kid in the home that I was, and by no means was it a bad home, because I had the best childhood with my mom and my brother and sister, but we never we didn't speak too much about these things, or maybe I didn't have the language because I had Danish and Serbian, and I had to tell them in Serbian how I felt or how I didn't feel. And so having an outlet now is pretty important for me, and you know just as a human, I guess. So it's been quite good. It's always good for me, but yeah, obviously afterwards having to talk about it in interviews and stuff like that, and that's totally fine. I understand it, because that's the offset of the whole campaign. It's been a bit special for me. He's been dead for a long time, so that's also a little bit weird.
Yeah, I feel like you just put yourself in this like dark place too, to kind of go back and revisit those memories very vividly, to really put it onto a lyric sheet or anything of that sort, to kind of evoke those emotions, especially because is like, even with the whole working out thing, like I just mentioned, like trying to find the motivation to even like go up this hill all the time. I'm like, just think about those people that have doubted me, said some wrong things. I can only imagine just trying to bring up those old memories there. But you said Serbian and Danish. Like, was one of your parents Serbian, the other one's from Denmark?
No, both.
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 Okay.
I'm a native Serbian. Well, I'm Bosnian, but I live in Serbia. So it's a melting pot of nationalities in whole of ex-Yugoslavia, and I was living there. We moved in 92. There was this genocide in 92 on the Bosnian Muslims, in 92 to 96, until NATO kind of stepped in. And in 92 we moved to Denmark. So I've been a refugee for like 4 or 5 years of my life. I lived in refugee camps, where I was living with my mom and dad in a room that was maybe, I don't know, 8 square meters. It was just a hotel room. We were four people into that, and I lived there for 4 years. So it was like that was my background. That's like, and we were living like 500 other people with 4 different nationalities. Like that was a crazy time. It would be like fights every morning, like over who would play the pool table first. And they would be like, there would be about, people would be drunk, people would be very unhappy. Like I remember I had a friend, like she had bullet holes on her shoulder, like from when her dad and her brother were shot dead actually. And we were just living in that. It was insane. I was like 6 years old. So yeah, that's where I kind of came from, until we moved away from the refugee camp. We got a residency and stuff like that. So
Wow.
yeah, crazy.
That's a crazy turn. I was not expecting that at all, dude. I was like, whoa, the entire time
So
we're talking
maybe
about that.
it maybe explains a little bit about the darkness. It's probably why I'm drawn to metal music and rock music as a whole. Is trying to revisit that energy to just get it out there. I mean, when I was younger, having to go berserk up on stage and doing these darker genres and stuff was real medicine. It was really important for me to express my way in these ways. And yeah, so a lot stems from that, and obviously from the family relations that we had coming from what we came from back then.
But now you're officially the dad too. That's like, if your kids ever act up, you're like, hey, you don't know what it's like. You don't know what I went through, and you guys got it
I'm,
easy.
I'm that guy. I'm that guy for sure. I am that guy. What you should have known what I've been through. Like, those guys who tell them that they walk 20 miles to get to school or whatever.
Of course.
But that's me. But I mean, it's not all bad, because people who've been through this will know that hardships, will definitely build character. And I tell myself that that's what's happened to me. Um, you know, uh, because that's a way of surviving as well. So I think I've been blessed. All in all, I've been blessed, even though everything that's been going on. And sitting here with you, talking with you about my music is just insane, because most of my friends, they just work regular jobs or don't even have a job, or have problems, and I'm not there. So blessed.
Wow. Wow, that's awesome. That's awesome. I heard you say in a previous interview, not to completely just change the subject all of a sudden, but I wanted to
No,
talk
no.
more about this with you because I heard you're a big sports guy, and
Yeah.
you like the Tour de France, you like the World Cup, you watch the World Cup and all of that. And I was laughing because I watched that interview, and then no joke, literally the article that I read right after, or I think I was in the middle of like listening to it while just kind of looking stuff up to talk about on the show. I saw people were like, these female Tour de France cyclists were like patting their bras to get better speed down the track. And I was wondering if you saw that too. And I don't know, how big into cycling are you?
Oh, not that much into the women's circuit,
Mhm.
but I definitely believe that. I remember we had a Danish guy who was also caught for doping. His name was called Michael Rasmussen, and he was just insane with all the things he would do and detach from his bicycle to make it lighter and to make him more aerodynamic to win the Tour de France. But I mean, cycling is something I was actually at the Giro d'Italia this year as my birthday present with three friends, and it was one hell of an experience. It's just something very beautiful about cycling that I just really love. And obviously, it is by far and without a doubt the hardest elite sports you can do when you're doing Tour de France and stuff like that.
It is funny. I was making this joke on the air about how, like usually when you're driving around and you see that group of cyclists wearing the spandex and the racing helmets and all that, you're like, why are you in the middle of the street? Get out of the way. But then, those races go on TV, and of course, everybody's drawn to watching that. It's quite funny.
Yeah.
But also,
Yeah.
as a guy who's, you're from Serbia and all that, do you watch basketball at all?
No,
Oh,
that's
no.
actually one sport I never got too into. But I know what you want to hint. Obviously, my former country are great producers of very good basketball players.
Yeah.
There is this area. It's just like in China. There is just this area in Serbia where they just produce really tall people. Uh, and I think it's got something to do with the water and the food that they eat. So until recently, like the diet in Serbia will always consist of white bread, a lot of processed milk coming directly from the cow because they all have cows, and a lot of meat. It's just those are the three things they just morning, lunch, dinner. It's just those three things they eat. So I guess that's something to do with it. But yeah, the Doncic, what's he called, Luka, the other guy,
Oh,
the other
Nikola
guy,
Jokić.
Nikola Jokic.
Yeah.
All those guys are doing so well. It's
Yeah.
amazing. I mean, in Serbia they have really have like also in tennis, Djokovic. It's crazy. Like they're doing pretty well.
Yeah, it's so funny because what was it? I was a basketball player my entire life. You can't see, but I'm 6'9" myself, and so
Oh shit.
so yeah, so I grew up playing basketball, and I was so happy to see Jokic like doing so well out there because I was the only like fat white dude on the court and seeing some other guy, like a plump white guy out there just killing it. I'm like, all right, cool. So,
That's the most astonishing thing about that, isn't it? He just looks so bored and he looks so out of shape.
yeah,
And he's just so good. It's funny to me. It's really funny to me sometimes how that can be possible. When you look at all the other basketball players and how ripped they are.
and he also
It's
just
crazy.
doesn't care too. Like he wants to
No.
go home and go race his horses and tend to his horses, and
Yeah.
he's winning NBA championships. He won the MVP, and it's like that just. I wish I could do that with like my job, just not care at all, but then somehow come in and just kill it all the time. But
It must be so healthy for him.
yeah.
Good on him. It must be so healthy. He's so anxious free.
Oh yeah, and I know like people were making that joke online saying like once he retires, we'll never hear from him again. He'll just disappear back to wherever he goes, and that's it.
Oh, 100%. But trust me, he'll be living the life down in Serbia where like cost of living is 1/10 of what it is in the States.
I was about to say, I'm sure he's probably like one of the biggest names out there for sure.
Oh, yes. For sure. For sure. For sure.
Well, I appreciate all the time that you spent here with me today, Mirza. I really thank you so much. I was glad we were able to talk something besides, just your music and the album and all of that. But I do want to point out Afterlove, your side project, because I love that song, Shape of My Mind. That's how I discovered the band Bite Down, was because of that track. And I thought those guys were
Amazing.
tremendous with you and all that. But I think there was that debut track, Afterlove, that you also like it just popped up on my YouTube, and you were just sitting down eating a chicken shawarma on the video. Like, what made you want to launch this solo project in addition to being in Siamese?
So I wanted to do something. To be honest, I was just coming to a point with Siamese where I was just getting really, really uninspired or stuck somehow from working with the same people and then doing the same stuff over and over again. So I just wanted my own outlet and I could just do whatever I wanted and create whatever I felt like. And it's not even that different from Siamese, but it was just a process that was much more pain-free and quicker to execute. And that is like when if you listen to Afterlove, everything you listen on that EP is done on the spot. The lyrics, the melodies, everything is done in one day. There's nothing like going back and forth. That was like my dog. I wanted to do that. I just wanted to go in. What do I feel like? What do I want to write about? And I was just the words that were coming were just gibberish, but they all kind of make sense. And then I just rewrote it and refined it, and then there was a lyric and I spent maybe 3 or 4 hours on it.
Wow.
And then it was done. So I wanted to do that because when we work home and we work elements and also in dissolution, much less than before, we would spend hours upon hours and then spend days upon days pondering about a little piece of the puzzle, which is great. I definitely recommend that. And it does set the recipe for a good album. No doubt about that. I was just so sick of it. I just wanted to let it flow a little bit, be a child again, be creative. I think it's very important when we create that you can do whatever you want and not be bound to some ideas or forms that you've done before. So yeah, that's how it came about. And yeah, I'm really happy. I did it with Zach from Rain City Drive, one of the writers, but mainly him. And also another Zach, who is in the band If Not For Me. So yeah, it were good times.
Wow. Wow. Amazing. Amazing. Well, thank you, Mirza. Really, again, thank you so much for joining me here today. I'm sure you got to get going and all that because it's getting late over there for you. You got to put the baby asleep, and all that stuff. So appreciate you joining me. And I can't wait for you guys to come back to the US to tour and all that. I'd love to see you guys live at some point. So, yeah.
Thank you so much. I think we're planning on maybe coming next summer.
Perfect.
So
Perfect.
well, where are you situated?
I'm in we're in Idaho. We're on the eastern side of
Okay.
Idaho. We're about 3 hours north of Salt Lake City and about 4 hours west of Boise. So we kind of just travel in this big triangle kind of to catch shows. We have venues here too, but yeah, the Salt Lake City is where we mostly go down to. And then,
Yeah, we missed Idaho, and I heard Idaho is one of the most beautiful places in the States, or is it? No, it's not Iowa, right? It can't be Iowa.
no, it's not. Idaho is certainly pretty. Like there's, we were just talking about it on the air this morning. Hugh Jackman is here, just randomly hiking around. Jimmy Fallon was just here. Henry Winkler from Happy Days and all that. He was here too. So it's like a lot of the celebrities are coming out.
It's one of my it's definitely my favorite place in the world to tour when it comes to driving and passing time. It's just so beautiful. I've never been in a more beautiful place, and I've been all over now. So I really love coming back. So hopefully next summer I'll let you know. I'll
Yeah.
pass you on. You're on my Instagram, so just let me know, and you can be our guest for sure.